Name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Dear students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and taking safety precautions to keep yourself immune and healthy during this prevailing pandemic. Students, I am Zafruzama, your English teacher. Today, I am going to teach you unit number 2, The Ransom of Red Chief. The Ransom of Red Chief is actually a story about kidnapping, in which two kidnappers kidnapped a 10-year-old boy, Johnny, from a small town called Summit. After kidnapping that boy, the kidnappers faced many difficulties because the boy was very naughty. What kind of difficulties the kidnappers faced, that we will study in this story. I hope you will enjoy the end of the story because it is full of humor and fun. Let's start the story. The Ransom of Red Chief. We were down south in Alabama, Bill Driscoll and myself, when this kidnapping idea struck us. A kidnapper is telling us this story. He says they were two friends. The other friend name is Bill Driscoll, and they were in Alabama, and they got the idea that they must kidnap someone. So why they have to kidnap someone? He will tell us in the next paragraph. Bill and me had about $600, and we needed just $2,000 more to buy some land in western Illinois. So Bill and the kidnapper, they said that they had $600, and now they had told us why they decided to kidnap someone. They said they needed $2,000 more to buy some land in Western Illinois. Western Illinois is a place in America. We figured that family love is strongest in semi-rural communities and decided to do our kidnapping in Summit, a small town. So they had planned that they will accomplish their kidnapping in a small town called Summit. Summit is a semi-rural community. Semi-rural means it is between rural and urban, or it has half characteristics of village and half characteristics of a city. So, and they thought that the family love is strongest there, that the parents really love their parents in semi-rural areas. Are they right? I don't think so. I don't think so that in villages parents love more than their children rather than in the cities. We selected for our victim the only child of a prominent citizen named Ebenezer Dorset. So, who was their victim? Their victim was a child of a famous personality, Ebenezer Dorset, who was very famous in Summit. Mr. Dorset was known for his wealth, which he made from lending mortgages and making foreclosures. So, Mr. Dorset was a rich man, and he had a lot of money, and he earned those all money through mortgages and making foreclosures. Mortgage is actually a loan usually taken when buying property, and foreclosures is to take back a property when a mortgage fails. The kid was a boy of 10 with freckles and bright red hair. Bill and me figured that Ebenezer would agree to pay a ransom of $2,000. But wait till I tell you what happened. Now they have calculated that Ebenezer, he is a rich man, and he would easily pay them $2,000 for his son. But he is giving us some clue. He says, listen to him, that what happened to the kidnappers. About 2 miles from Summit was a little tree-covered mountain. Now he is telling us the place where they wanted to keep that boy who they are going to kidnap. So it was away from summit. It was there is distance between summit and that cave of 2 miles, and there is a little tree covered mountain it was. So on its back slope, there was a cave, and there they stored their provisions for to accomplish that kidnapping. One evening we drove in a buggy past old Dossett's house. The kid was in the street, throwing rocks at a kitten on the opposite fence. So they say one evening they went to the Dorset's house in a buggy, and they saw the boy he was in the street, and he was playing there, and he was throwing stones at a kitten while standing over there. Hey, says Bill, would you like some candy? Now the kidnapper is offering, or he is going to trick the boy with mostly kidnappers often do that. They often first they try to trick the person who they are going to kidnap. That boy put up a fight. The boy threw a piece of brick at Bill's head, and in response, what did the boy do? He threw that rock which he was throwing on the kitten, he threw at Bill's head. The boy put up a fight. He started fighting. But eventually, we got him in the buggy and drove up to the cave. Of course, they were adults, and they managed to take the boy to the cave, or they kidnapped. After dark, I drove the buggy back to the village, and I had hired it in and walked back. And then he said, when it got dark, he drove the buggy back to the village which he has hired for kidnapping, and then he went back to the cave. Now, in the cave, Bill was examining and treating the scratches and bruises on his face and legs. Guess why did he got scratches and bruises on his face and legs? Guess? Yes, you are correct. Actually, when he tried to kidnap that boy, the boy got very, I must say, furious, and he inflict scratches and bruises on Bill's face and legs. There was a fire burning in the cave, and the boy was sitting by it, with two buzzard tail feathers stuck in his red hair. He points a stick at me and says, "Hey, cursed pale face, do you dare to enter Red Chief's camp?" So this is the scene of that cave where they stored their provisions. Now the fire is burning, you can easily see on the picture, and the boy is sitting in front of the fire, and he is behaving like that he is the Red Chief of Red Indians. And look at his head, there you will see two feathers, tail feathers of buzzard. Buzzard is actually a hawk-like bird of prey with broad wings. So he points a stick at Sam and says, "Hey, cursed pale face, do you dare to enter Red Chief's camp?" That how dare he to Red Chief's camp? Actually, he's threatening him. "He's all right now," says Bill. "We are playing Red Indian. I am old Hank, Red Chief's captive, and I'm to be scalped at daybreak." Ouch, that kid can kick hard. Now Bill describes the boy. He says he's all right, and now he pretends that we are playing a game named Red Indian. I am old Hank, and he's Red Chief, and I am his captive, and he is going to scalp me in the morning next. And then he kick Bill, and kick says, "Oh, ouch! That kid can kick hard." That boy seemed very happy. The fun of camping out had made him forget that he was a captain. He immediately named me Snake Eye, the spy, and announced that I was to meet my end the next day. Now say the boy was very happy. he is enjoying that camping. He thought that it is a camping and it's fun, and he forget that he was a captive. So he immediately named Sam Snake Eye and Spy. He gave the name to Sam, and he announced that I am going to die the next day, or he is going to die. Sam is going to die next day. Then we had supper, and he filled his mouth full of meat, bread, and gravy, and talked. His speech went something like this: "I've never camped out before. It's fun, but I had a pet once, and I was 9 last birthday. Are there any real Red Indians in these woods? I want some gravy. Do the moving trees make the wind blow?" Now they had their supper. Supper, that is evening meal, you can say. So they had their evening meal, and they had a lot of fun. And the boy started telling them different stories about him. He said he had once a pet animal, or he grew 9 year old on his last birthday. And he was also asking Bill that are there real red Indians in these woods where they were. And he also wanted some more gravy to have his meal. And then the foolish question he asked, that do the moving trees make the wind blow, that the trees help the wind to blow. Now more uh, foolish or useless questions he asked from the kidnappers. He says, "We had 5 puppies. What makes your nose so red, Hank? My father has lots of money. Are the stars hot? Do oxen make any noise? Why are oranges round? A parrot can talk, but a monkey or a fish can't." So these are the foolish questions he is asking from the kidnappers. Every few minutes he would remember that he was a red Indian, and would let out a war whoop that made old Hank shiver. That boy had Bill terrorized from the start. So after a few minutes, he started pretending that he is the red Indian, and he let out a war whoop or hoo la la type sound. And he made Bill shiver that time, because he really frightened mm, Bill over there. "I says, kid, would you like to go home?" Now the kidnapper asked Sam. Sam asked the kid that he would like to go home. So, "Oh, what for?" says he. "I don't have any fun at home. I hate school. I like camping. You won't take me home. Snake Eye, will you?" So you have read the reply that he said, "What for what? For what he has to go to his home?" He says, "I don't have fun at home. I don't like going home." He hates school. He liked camping. He won't. He's pleading to Snake Eye. He's pleading Sam that please don't uh, take him home back. "Not right away," says I. So Sam says that I told him that not this time I'm going to take you. "Yay," says he. "I never had such fun in all my life." So the boy, he's very excited to listen that he's not going to his home. And he says that he was having a lot of fun. At about 11 o'clock, we spread down some white blankets and went to bed. So at 11 o'clock, when they decided to sleep, Red Chief kept us awake for 3 hours. So the Red Chief, the kid, did not let him sleep for 3 hours, jumping up and reaching for his rifle and screeching in our ears as each crackle of a twig or the rustle of a leaf made him imagine that outlaws were approaching. So he was jumping and he was eating, and he has made a twig to his rifle, and he was screeching in kidnappers ears. And each the noise of each crackle or a twig or a rustle of a leaf, he thought that there are criminals, and he got alert. At last I fell into a troubled sleep. And then he said that at last they fell asleep, and he dreamed that the kidnappers had been kidnapped, and they had been chained to a by a tree by a ferocious pirate with red hair. So actually, they were looking the kid in their dream, and they were really frightened of him. Dear students, the remaining story we will read in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye.